Welcome to Red V TV, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2024 season. That's going to be signature, that now, isn't it?
Yeah.
With 27 days to go, as we continue to build up to the opening game of Saints 2024 campaign, it is the time, Kevin. It's our number 27.
And our number 27 is McKenzie Buckley. And McKenzie is sponsored by the Saints Community Foundation.
We've reached a player with a heritage number, Kevin. 1,276.
Can you not read it if it's not slide on?
One appearance to his name. He made his debut in 2022 against Castleford Tigers. I think that was it, the game where we played all the kids to give everybody a week off. Came through the Saints Academy, where he was at from 2019. Didn't make an appearance in 2023. Not that you probably would have expected him to, but with a year on his deal, is this a year where he does have to make some sort of breakthrough and keep ahead of the chasing pack as it is?
I think, that he's going to be looking to give Wello a bit of a headache and make him make a decision. He started out as a prop and he's played a lot of second row now. We know how congested it is in the Saints second row at the moment. We seem to have a plethora of back rowers. But again, I actually went back and listened to what we said last year about McKenzie, and we were talking about his line running and how he looked like a busy player. He's now got to start thinking he needs to just possibly make that step up. He's still a junior player, but he's one of the more senior junior players, if you get what I mean. He's not one of these first years who's just coming through and there's not really that much pressure on him. There probably is that little bit of pressure, because he's not going to want to be a squad player for the rest of his days. Listen, you look at the likes of, say, when we'll come on to him in a couple of days' time, Sam Royal. He's done a good couple of years of learning his trade and kind of moved up through the squad numbers slowly but surely, and now he's like in the 20s. He's 22, so we'll catch him up in about 5 days or so. McKenzie might be all right doing that. We've already mentioned how forwards can take the time to kind of develop. I wouldn't write him off, because he's had the option on his contract taken up, but I think he's going to be looking to make some kind of impact this season.
Yeah, I think we seen him in that 2022 reserve grand final, didn't we? When he was playing alongside George Delaney, and they both made impacts in that game. Obviously, George has moved on to another level, and you can almost say McKenzie will be looking to follow in those footsteps this season. If he can get any sort of a foothold, whether that comes through injury or suspension, that he has to make it count. If opportunities are hard to come by, is he someone you send out? Maybe not necessarily on dual reds. Is it someone who could potentially go out on loan to the likes of a young Castleford side or a London Broncos, just to see how he goes against Super League opposition?
Yeah, possibly so. He could be someone who seems to kind of see him develop in training and see him a little bit more than we do from the outside. So they might see him progress in training, something that we don't see from the outside. So they see that he is getting better and he's learning a little bit more, obviously with the players who are surrounding him in the front and back rows of our pack. And they don't let him go. They don't think, well, yeah, he's another one who's going to move on. As you say, whether it's getting games for Swinton, again, Swinton are getting probably more coverage than anybody, even Saints at times, in these early player previews. But as you say, a London, maybe a Salford, because they're kind of struggling a little bit with players. I know that they're currently under embargo, that they've got to get the RFL to sign off if they can sign people. A Castleford team who have recently lost Alex Mellor to injury. It could be that he goes out for 2 weeks, a month, and see how he goes. And you know what? If he starts shining, he's our player. He comes back in and he tries to take his chance in our first team.
Yeah, you talk about Swinton, and in that photograph of McKenzie Buckley running the ball in, it is against former St. Josh Eves of the Swinton Lions. Good segue, well, that Kevin.
Yeah, well, it's always planned, isn't it?
Always.
But yeah, I like McKenzie. I like the way that he plays. I like the way that he line runs. I said last year, he line runs like a young John Wilkin, like hitting great lines and finding gaps. And it might just be that he's one of these forwards who kind of finds his niche and finds his game a little bit further on down the line. As ever, we do hope it's with us, but with the size of him and kind of how he's played and how I've seen him play in the academy and the reserves, there's a career there for him. Once again, it's up to him to take his chance.
Yeah, it's a busy room that he's in terms of the forwards. Sometimes it's just a little bit of luck can come into it, whether you get your opportunity. Right, that's our number 27 done. We will be back tomorrow with the latest player preview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and give a visit to our sponsors, Chapel House Cars, based in St. Helens, for all the latest car deals. Catch you soon.